Dennis Miller here to do the politics. We have Dennis Miller back again. After a 20-year hiatus, Dennis Miller is back to do the politics. Do you remember Dennis Miller? Is that his name?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah,
all right,
poll,
season preview.
All right.
Some bold predictions for this season.
All right. Well, I think my bold predictions might come from my MVPs of this team. So I'll call my bold predictions and then my MVPs kind of one and the same. So how about win-loss total? Well, if 10-7,
we're playing 17 games now.
Yeah. So if 10-7 is narrowly missing the playoffs, I'm going to put the Raiders down for 11-6. And say that we narrowly make the playoffs. That's my prediction. So
they would probably have to be a wild card.
Oh yeah, because listen, we're gonna have to do. The Raiders would have to overachieve at practically an unprecedented level to win the division. Look, I mean, I hate them as much as everyone else listening to this show does, but we have to be really real that the Chiefs are generationally talented and well coached, and look, they're going to win a lot of football games. You're talking about in this era of football, like the elite team, like in terms of year in, year out, because it's not the Patriots anymore. So it's the freaking, and the Bucks are only going to be short lived, until Tom Brady retires and everybody else that's 30 plus years old on that team. So you're talking about a team that's foreseeably going to be good for a very long time, unless we hopefully see them get into like cap trouble or something. But outside of something like that, or a major injury or something, like they're the best team in football and going to be for all intents and purposes. Don't get me wrong, any given Sunday, and not to say that they won't lose and whatever. But look, man, we're the only one that knocked them off last year. So until Tampa did it. So it's to beat that team and to win the AFC West, I think is an awful, awful tall order. So yeah, I think regardless, we're going in as a wild card.
We're gonna see if your total's right in a minute. I'm gonna go 10-7 now.
10-7, yeah.
Again, we're gonna answer these questions in a minute, but I think they'll be 10-7. We're actually gonna do the schedule. We're gonna quickly say win, loss for the teams in a minute. But I think it's going to be 10-7. We'll figure it out once we look at it. Bold predictions for the season. I believe that Willie Snead will somehow, like Nelson Aguilar did last year, will end up being one of the best wide receivers on that team statistically. I actually think Willie Snead might be number one again in stats in terms of yardage on the wide receiver side of the ball. I just think a veteran, maybe with injuries or unfortunately, hopefully none of that happens. I don't know. I just foresee it again. On a one-year contract, Willie Snead like Nelson Aguilar did last year. I don't know. I kind of see it. Willie Speed being a little bit better than Henry Ruggs, Edwards, and Renfro statistically. I just not Waller, of course, not Waller. That's my bold prediction for the season. And yeah, do you have one?
Yeah. So, again, my bold predictions are going to come from the players I think that are going to,
So then give an MVP on offense and defense.
Yeah. So my MVP I don't know how you can not pick Darren Waller here, is the MVP on offense. But here's where I'll go bold prediction. I don't think he's going to lead the team in touchdown receptions. I think that's going to come from Bryan Edwards.
Yeah,
I think that when you look at what Derek likes, when you look at all the touchdowns that he threw in 2016, it was to Andre Holmes, it was to Jared Cook, it was to Michael Crabtree. It was big receivers that are able to high point the football, bully people out, box people out, and go up and get the football. Derek loves to throw the 50-50 ball. And now he's got a guy that is going to be you got a guy. He's going to be an absolute stud in the red zone to go along with Darren Waller. So I think that while Waller is going to lead in receptions and most likely yards, I think Bryan Edwards is going to lead the team in touchdown receptions.
All right. Give me your defensive MVP.
I'm going to go with There's a really big chunk of me that wants to go with Trayvon Merrick. I really want, but the fan in me wants to pick somebody in the secondary. I'm a huge Jonathan Abram fan, and I really want to see him break out and to be the defensive MVP for the team. But I think that with the amount of veterans and the amount of production that comes out of the veterans that we have signed, especially in somebody like Yannick Ngakoue, I think that that's the guy that's going to be the MVP of this defense. I think he's going to get to the quarterback a lot, and I think that that's also going to open up for Max Crosby to get to the quarterback a lot and to return to that 10-sack type form that we saw from him in his rookie year. So give me Yannick Ngakoue, man. I think that he's a perfect fit to this team, and I really look forward to watching him play this year.
All right. I'll stick with that sentiment. I'll start with defense. I believe the MVP at the end of the season on defense, I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to say KJ Wright. I'm going to give this man some faith. We've needed a linebacker. He's coming off injuries. Maybe he has one good year in him. And he's a great man off the field. He does a lot for his community. And I really think he might be able to get a little bit of spark of those days with Gus Bradley in Seattle. And I'm gonna say KJ Wright leads the team in tackles, and he was like a mainstay. It doesn't mean he's the MVP. He got all the interceptions, all the sacks. It's just he solidified our linebacker core against tight ends. That's what I want. So he's the MVP on defense for me. Then on offense, I'm going to go with the man nobody thinks about, nobody talks about. I'm going to say the MVP will be Kenyon Drake, catching the ball out of the backfield. I think he might actually have over 700 yards out of the backfield under Derek Carr. I love everybody to be the MVP. I would hope the O-line would be the MVP. Derek Carr, I don't care any of them. I know Darren Waller is. But I think Kenyon Drake out of the backfield is going to open up some weapon that they haven't had for a long time against this team.
I love that, and I think that he's going to be an amazing red zone help too, because he's, while Josh Jacobs is a very angry runner and very strong in the way that he finishes and does fine in there, I think that that's also what Kenyon Drake does very, very well. Also being a big bodied guy. And wouldn't you love to see him be like the new version of Zach Crockett or something? He's the guy that when you're inside the 5, you just turn around and give it to him and he's going to go punch it in there every time.
Who's the equal to Kenyon Drake in Gruden's old offense with the Raiders and Tampa Bay?
Well, I think that he's Zach Crockett with hands. You know what I mean? And not that, Zach wasn't known for, not that he couldn't catch, but he wasn't known for being a receiving type back. But shoot, Kenyon Drake can line up in the slot. You know what I mean? Like he's going to be all over
the running back that we had when we went to the Super Bowl. I'm blanking.
Well, we had back in that era, we had Tyrone Wheatley, we had Charlie Garner.
I'm comparing Drake to Garner in Gruden's system for some
very
reason.
Much so. Yes, because Charlie was a good pass catching back. Now Charlie didn't have the power though. Like Kenyon Drake is almost like a perfect hybrid between Charlie Garner and Zach Crockett, and like he does both of those things very, very well. Yeah, I'm with you, dude. I think he's going to catch a lot of passes. Because that's kind of something that's missing from Jacobs' game, right? We don't see Jacobs catch the ball and a lot of ability in that area. So I think, this offense is going to be legit.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah, we know who we got in offense. A breakout player. This is a player, doesn't mean you're MVP. It's just a player that nobody expects or much of, even going into the season, where they just break out. Give me one on offense and defense. A breakout player.
Offensively, I'm going to go with Henry Ruggs. I think that, he is much maligned that, it often takes wide receivers 2 or 3 years to really find their home in the NFL. And unfortunately for Ruggs, last year was one of those years where rookies broke out. And CeeDee Lamb did well, and Jerry Jeudy did well, and Justin Jefferson did well. And Henry Ruggs, while he had flashes, also had to deal with some injuries and whatnot, and he did not have the breakout year last year that those other 3 guys did, and so he's immediately compared to them, and I think that's unfortunate because when we drafted Ruggs, we knew he was the project, right? That you had the guys like CeeDee Lamb, who were plug and play. We knew that those guys were going to be good. They are, quote, pro ready, whatever the analysts call them. Where Ruggs didn't have as much polish to his route running and whatnot, but he had this raw talent that was completely unmatched compared to the rest of the guys in the wide receiving class.
Just give me the players.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, but, I love you. I'm glad to be back, but we're going to be hitting 2 hours, and it's only supposed to be an hour and a half.
I'll tell you why. Henry Ruggs is going to break guys. He's going to be a badass. And so I think that's going to shock people. Rookie of the year is going to be Trayvon Merrick on the defensive side. Easy.
Let's go. Breakout player for me on offense will be the little-known player by the name of Bryan Edwards. Many people, they know Henry Ruggs because he was a first-round pick. Bryan Edwards, not so much. But Raider Nation is hoping for a breakout. I believe he'll be the breakout because I already know what to expect from Henry Ruggs. So I'm going to say Bryan Edwards because I don't really know that much about him, to be honest with you. On defense, I'm going to say the breakout player will be, but bump, Nate Hobbs. I think he's going to put it together a great season. He did it in preseason. I think he's going to come out and play very well. He's possibly going to be the nickelback. He's possibly going to make some big plays, and he's going to put himself on the roster to be a starter next year or the following year. It's going to be very interesting. So I'm calling out Nate Hobbs. Rookie of the year, Nate Hobbs. That's my Raider rookie of the year, Nate Hobbs. You got Trayvon Morg, I'm assuming?
Yes.
All right, there it is. Sorry, Murph. I hope I didn't offend you, bro.
No, you didn't offend me, and it's okay because I've actually got a work thing coming up, so that's good. Better to move me along and not sit there and listen to me blab on and on.
Nah, but I love it. So let's just quickly go game to game, win loss, and we don't have to talk about it. Let's start with Baltimore. You gave them a win, right?
Yeah, Raiders win that one.
All right, I gave them a loss. Where's week 2 versus the Steelers at Pittsburgh? Win loss.
Loss. East Coast games suck.
I give them a win in that game. All right, Miami at home.
Win.
I give
I'll be
that
there.
one.
They better win.
We need it after last year's Miami game. I give that a W because you're going to that game, show.
Yes. I've never seen them lose.
Yeah.
Other than one time. One time I saw them lose. Monday Night Football. Yep.
At LA, at the home stadium versus the Chargers.
We win that home game.
I believe we win that game as well. Now the Khalil Mack return, week 5.
Beat their ass. Win.
All right, I'm going to go loss on that game. I'm not going to explain why. Week 6 at Denver.
W.
I am going to say we get a W at that game. Versus the Eagles, week 7.
W.
Wow, a lot of W's.
6-1 going into the bye, baby.
I give that game a W as well. At New York, are they the Giants or the Jets or I don't know.
Giants, yeah. Yeah, Giants. We lose coming out of the bye week because East Coast games suck.
I give it a W at the Giants. I can't stand them. I don't care. All right, the big game. The Kansas City Chiefs on Thursday Night Football, I believe it is, or Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, we beat them. That's our home game, right? The second one is the road game?
Week 10, that is the home game. Week 10 versus, it doesn't say at, so yes.
Yeah. We win that one.
All right, I'm going to say we lose that one. I don't know why. Week 11 versus Bengals at home.
W.
W for Murph. I'm going to give us a W as well. At Cowboys on, I think it's Thanksgiving.
Where we always lose, so that's an L.
I give that one an L as well. Unfortunately, Washington, Ryan Fitzpatrick return.
Watch this. That's going to be an L. We're going to lose some stupid game this year, and that's going to be the one. We're all going to be looking at each other going, gosh, we've been playing so well. How did Washington sneak up on us? Just like Atlanta got us. Remember? Last year, it was like, how the crap did we get the junk kicked out of us by the Falcons? There you go.
I'm going to give that one a W. Because I think we need to get revenge for that Washington game like 4 years ago that ruined everything with political stances. I'm tired of it. All right, at Kansas City.
That one we lose.
I believe we win that one, Murph. How you doing? We win in Kansas City. Let's go.
Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome.
Let's go. At Cleveland Browns.
W. We get back on track after dropping 3 in a row.
I believe we get a W in that game as well. Denver Broncos at home.
That's going to be late and cold, and it's just one of those ones where it's like...
No, that's at home.
Oh, that's the home one? Okay.
That's
never mind.
One.
Okay, we're home. Never mind. Yeah, W on that one.
So do you want to retake your stance on the on the Bronco game earlier? Because that was at the away game.
It's warm weather then. No,
I
we're
see
fine.
what you're saying.
We'll sweep them.
I believe we get a W in that game as well. Then we're at the Indianapolis Colts.
That's another one we'll lose because we shouldn't. But we have a thing with the Colts late in the season.
I agree with you on that one. We both lose that Colts game. Then the final game of the season, at home again versus the Chokers.
Yeah, we close it out with a W.
We close it out with a W. I agree. Now let's add up our records. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got 9 wins, Murph.
No, should be more than that, brother. I got 6 losses.
I just wrote it all down. I got 1 win, 2 win, 3 win. Wait, let me.
Yeah, I've got us losing to the Steelers, the Giants, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Washington football team, and Indy. That's 6 losses. So that's 11-6 record.
I don't know. I got you at 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got you at 10-7 from what we just spoke about.
No, unless I misspoke on one. But those are the losses, what I just gave it. Steelers, Giants, Cowboys, Chiefs, Washington, Indianapolis.
I know. I'm just saying, I don't know whether I'm correct, but I wrote down W and L for everyone.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Oh, am I missing 2? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, I'm not. I don't know. Whatever. Like I said, this is getting weird. So for me, I got 1 win, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got us going 12.
There you go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 12-5. Well, how'd that happen?
See? You got faith.
Well, I was 10-6 a minute ago. How'd that happen?
I don't know.
I told you. Now I'm going.
I'm not trusting your tally counts over there, Mikey.
I guess. Look, we're gonna be anywhere between 10-6 and 12-5, or whatever my record, or 10-7 and 12-5. All right,
hey, Mikey,
that was fun.
I may have to grab a call.
Yeah, go.
Are we live right now? Are we live on?
We are, but yeah, do what you got to do.
Okay. This might be my son who's going to graduate boot camp in
take the call. I'll talk to the fans.
He just all right. Let me step out for just a half sec.
Yeah, no worries. So there it is, Raider Nation. I don't know what mistake I made right there, but I had them going 10 or 7 earlier, and now I got them going 12-5. So no worries, no worries. We'll move along.
Okay, I missed getting the call there. If he calls back, I'll have to grab it. But okay, sorry. We'll go ahead and move on here.